As we grow our economies, we'll also remember the link between growth and good governance, the rule of law. Transparent institutions, the equal administration of justice. Because history shows that, over the long run, democracy and economic growth go hand in hand. And prosperity without freedom is just another form of poverty. And this brings me to the final area where we are leading. Our support for the fundamental rights of every human being. Every nation will chart its own course. Yet it is also true that certain rights are universal, among them, freedom of speech, freedom of the press. Freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, and the freedom of citizens to choose their own leaders. These are not American rights, or Australian rights, or Western rights. These are human rights. They stir in every soul. As we've seen in the democracies that have succeeded here in Asia. Other models have been tried and they have failed: fascism and communism. Rule by one man and rule by committee. And they failed for the same simple reason. They ignore the ultimate source of power and legitimacy, the will of the people. Yes, democracy can be messy and rough. I understand you mix it up quite well during question time. But whatever our differences of party or of ideology, we know in our democracies we are blessed with the greatest form of government ever known to man. So as two great democracies, we speak up for those freedoms when they are threatened. We partner with emerging democracies, like Indonesia. To help strengthen the institutions upon which good governance depends. We encourage open government, because democracies depend on an informed and active citizenry. We help strengthen civil societies, because they empower our citizens to hold their governments accountable. And we advance the rights of all people, women. Minorities and indigenous cultures, because when societies harness the potential of all their citizens, these societies are more successful, they are more prosperous, and they are more just. These principles have guided our approach to Burma, with a combination of sanctions and engagement. And today, Aung San Suu Kyi is free from house arrest. Some political prisoners have been released. And the government has begun a dialogue. Still, violations of human rights persist. So we will continue to speak clearly about the steps. That must be taken for the government of Burma to have a better relationship with the United States. This is the future we seek in the Asia-Pacific: security, prosperity, and dignity for all. That's what we stand for. That's who we are. That's the future we will pursue. In partnership with allies and friends, and with every element of American power. So let there be no doubt, in the Asia-Pacific in the 21st century, the United States of America is all in. Still, in times of great change and uncertainty, the future can seem unsettling. Across a vast ocean, it's impossible to know what lies beyond the horizon. But if this vast region and its people teach us anything, it's the yearning for liberty and progress will not be denied. It's why women in this country demanded that their voices be heard. Making Australia the first nation to let women vote and run for parliament and, one day, become prime minister. It's why the people took to the streets from Delhi to Seoul. From Manila to Jakarta to throw off colonialism and dictatorship and build some of the world's largest democracies. It's why a soldier in a watchtower along the DMZ defends a free people in the south. And why a man from the north risks his life to escape across the border. Why soldiers in blue helmets keep the peace in a new nation. And why women of courage go into brothels to save young girls from modern-day slavery. Which must come to an end. It's why men of peace in saffron robes faced beatings and bullets. And why every day from some of the world's largest cities to dusty rural towns. In small acts of courage the world may never see. A student posts a blog, a citizen signs a charter, an activist remains unbowed. Imprisoned in his home, just to have the same rights that we cherish here today. Men and women like these know what the world must never forget. The currents of history may ebb and flow. But over time they move decisively in a single direction. History is on the side of the free societies, free governments, free economies, free people. And the future belongs to those who stand firm for those ideals, in this region and around the world. This is the story of the alliance we celebrate today. This is the essence of America's leadership, it is the essence of our partnership. This is the work we will carry on together, for the security and prosperity and dignity of all people. So God bless Australia. God bless America. And God bless the friendship between our two peoples. Barack Obama. Strengthening Intelligence and Aviation Security Address. Delivered January 7, 2010. Good afternoon, everybody. The immediate reviews that I ordered after the failed Christmas terrorist attack are now complete. I was just briefed on the findings and recommendations for reform, and I believe it's important that the American people understand the new steps that we're taking to prevent attacks and keep our country safe. This afternoon, my counterterrorism and Homeland Security Advisor, John Brennan, will discuss his review into our terrorist watch list system, how our government failed to connect the dots in a way that would have prevented a known terrorist from boarding a plane for America. And the steps we're going to take to prevent that from happening again. Secretary of Homeland Security Janet Napolitano will discuss her review of aviation screening. Technology and procedures, how that terrorist boarded a plane with explosives that could have killed nearly 300 innocent people. And how we'll strengthen aviation security going forward. So today I want to just briefly summarize their conclusions and the steps that I've ordered to address them. In our ever-changing world, America's first line of defense is timely. Accurate intelligence that is shared, integrated, analyzed, and acted upon quickly and effectively. That's what the intelligence reforms after the 9/11 attacks largely achieved. That's what our intelligence community does every day. But, unfortunately, that's not what happened in the lead up to Christmas Day. It's now clear that shortcomings occurred in three broad and compounding ways. First, although our intelligence community had learned a great deal about the Al-Qaeda affiliate in Yemen, called Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, that we knew that they sought to strike the United States. And that they were recruiting operatives to do so. The intelligence community did not aggressively follow. Upon and prioritize particular streams of intelligence related to a possible attack against the homeland. Second, this contributed to a larger failure of analysis, a failure to connect. The dots of intelligence that existed across our intelligence community and which, together, could have revealed that Abdul-Muttalib was planning an attack. Third, this, in turn, fed into shortcomings in the watch listing system, which resulted in this person not being placed on the no-fly list, thereby allowing him to board that plane in Amsterdam for Detroit. In sum, the U.S. government had the information scattered throughout the system to potentially uncover this plot and disrupt the attack. Rather than a failure to collect or share intelligence. This was a failure to connect and understand the intelligence that we already had. That's why we took swift action in the immediate days following Christmas. Including reviewing and updating the terrorist watch list system and adding more individuals to the no-fly list. And directing our embassies and consulates to include current visa. Information in their warnings of individuals with terrorist or suspected terrorist ties. Today, I'm directing a series of additional corrective steps across multiple agencies. Broadly speaking, they fall into 4 areas. First, I'm directing that our intelligence community immediately begin assigning specific responsibility for investigating all leads on high-priority threats so that these leads are pursued and acted upon aggressively, not just most of the time, but all of the time. We must follow the leads that we get. And we must pursue them until plots are disrupted. And that means assigning clear lines of responsibility. Second, I'm directing that intelligence reports especially those involving potential threats to the United States, be distributed more rapidly and more widely. We can't sit on information that could protect the American people. Third, I'm directing that we strengthen the analytical process. How our analysts process and integrate the intelligence that they receive. My Director of National Intelligence, Denny Blair, will take the lead in improving our day-to-day efforts. My Intelligence Advisory Board will examine the longer-term challenge of sifting through vast universes of intelligence and data in our information age.